Hey dudes, welcome back to another episode of our Rhomas Men's Team podcast. You are about to listen to one of our prior team meetings. If you ever want to join one of our live sessions that we have every Monday and Friday, head over to rhomas.com. That's RHOMAS.com, and put your email in and we will send you a live link every time we record. We generally record on Mondays and Fridays. So if you ever want to be on the actual podcast, like we bring men up all the time to talk about their goals, talk about their obstacles, etc., head over to rhomas.com. And then also, if you want to help support the channel grow and also have access to exclusive content, book reviews, extra whiteboard sessions, etc., and some coaching sessions, head over to patreon.com and support us. We would love it. But if not, no biggie. We'll see you on the live sessions. Later, dudes. Enjoy this podcast.
Dude, we're live. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Like polka dot tie?
I like that, actually. I like that a lot.
Well, so I got back from Vegas, and it was just like I need to get out of COVID clothing. I love being in an environment because there's a bunch of shows there, and I watch a bunch of presenters, and it's just like one of my business coaches tells me that you structure your business, you have a front stage and a backstage. If that makes sense. So like when you're on, and what is your character supposed to be? So I really like that. And it just reminded me, it's like, I got to get back on my dress game. And then that's why I set up the background a few weeks ago, but Vegas kind of helped push me over the edge a little bit. It's like, if you're going to do it, do it.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, the background's looking nice, man. I see you added a couple things.
Oh, dude. Meditating lion.
I see
Meditating
your
lion. Oh yeah, it's legit, man. I now officially have the best background on any Zoom meeting as I had in the last 5 weeks.
You do. You definitely do.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's very fascinating. So I went to a David Copperfield show, and just very interesting to see. It's like, okay, if you had to, and this is important for anybody in business, it's like that's your on stage. Every single inch of that show is curated. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like every single word, every single piece of tonality, everything for that hour and a half is exactly how they want it to be. And I just really like that idea.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man. And then do you mind if I share with you or share with the guys the story that I share with you?
Dude, I thought that was fascinating, man.
Yeah. So, and this is great. And actually, Kaizen, I think you would really like this. There was a great presenter on the stage. I went to a business conference, a finance conference, and they did this really cool experiment. They bought $250 worth of trinkets from, I think, Home Depot and the dollar store, et cetera. And then they put them up on eBay. But instead of just putting them up on eBay, so the total value in the fair market was $250, but instead of just putting them up on eBay, they put a story with each one. So for instance, there was like this little toy, it was a toy horse. And instead of just saying, oh, this is a toy horse, blah, 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 they said, this is the toy horse that my daughter used from age, 1 to 5. It was her magical toy horse that she used whenever she was scared. And she would say this saying. I mean, I'm probably butchering the story if anybody knows it, butchering the story, but they sold all of those goods. So that toy horse, which cost $2.50, they sold it for $140. So $140.
Jeez.
All of the goods that they bought for $250, they sold for like $8,700 because they put a story to each one of the trinkets. And I just thought that was absolutely fascinating. Just absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, when you told me that, dude, that kind of blew me away just to think about it. And it makes perfect sense. I mean, dude, same, I don't know if you recall when back in the day when I put up our one roommate's information, like his number on Craigslist. I put a story with that. Like, I'm a young confused student. I put up our one roommate on Men Seeking Men and put him up as like a young confused student, and I had this whole story built into it. And we put his phone number, and it fucking rang off the hook, dude.
Oh, dude,
I'm just showing the power of story.
Minutes.
I'm showing the power of story, and I think it was the tale. He was with an older man. He was confused. Dude, it was so funny. But, dude, I'm telling you, man, and it's like, that's why when you do stand up, when you do all this other stuff, like, you know, a lot of times the bio, you just show your credits, but like, dude, a lot of the dudes in the speaking circuit, if you have a cool story, you can sell so much stuff, dude. It's like I'm trying to think, there's always those like there was that guy, Wes Watson, who was like, he was in prison for 10 years. He got out. He's he's like a bodybuilding coach. But like, if he were just a regular bodybuilding coach, it'd be like, meh. But the fact that he was in prison for 10 years for some reason, and I'm totally susceptible to this. I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is awesome. I want to listen to this guy about shit about, like, you know, mindset and all this other stuff. So yeah, that kind of pumps me up.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So the kind of the call to action in Kaizen is exactly correct. This gets into an area called copywriting, which copywriting is the best way I've heard it described as salesmanship in written form. And they use a lot of story. I mean, it's basically, they say that people buy because of emotion and justify with logic. So those types of things, but story gets people out of the analytical part of their brain and gets them in the emotional part and gets you to be able to relate to something. And then all of a sudden you're in an entirely different world. As Jordan Peterson would say, you are not here. You're now there. Like, you're immersed in the new environment that the orator, I never know how to pronounce it. Orator.
You're right.
Is getting you to go down. So I thought it was fascinating. But yeah, $250 to $8,500, just crazy.
Just writing little stories on eBay. That's insane, man. Yeah, and it's also like you were saying too, you can get into that idea of, and I think I've talked about this before, when people get like frustrated in situations and they're like, I'm like nervous in this new position. You can literally just pretend to be someone who's not nervous, and it works weirdly. Mm-hmm. You know, you can kind of like fuck around with it and kind of play characters, and, you know, or just like really think about yourself as a character. In order, if it's like hard to, you know, like when you were gone Friday, we talked a lot about like having a value structure versus not having a value structure. And if you don't have a value structure, you're more or less making decisions unconsciously, or doing that pleasure pain principle, which ultimately just kind of leads you typically to not the best scenario. If you're just avoiding pain and seeking pleasure, it's like, you know, who's to say that what you're avoiding is actually bad and what you're seeking is actually good, other than the little feelings you get. So I think, like you were saying, like having a character, looking up to different characters, even if they're fake in stories, just having something to ground yourself to that you can filter your decisions through. That's not just you being, you know, greedy for sweets or just being a pussy in general.
Yeah, well, I think, Matt, when you and I took improv comedy class, I think that really help with that. Like, you do not have to be your own identity. Like, you just take little breaks in time where you say, I'm going to act like this person. And we all had that experience growing up playing basketball. You know, you were playing basketball not as yourself, you're playing as Michael Jordan. So we all have this experience of adopting someone else's persona. Why can you not adopt people's personas that you want to be like? Ben Franklin used this as his methodology for decades, I believe. You know, he'd say, today I want to be more charismatic, or today I want to be more, you know, more humble. I think he had, like, they called it his 13 virtues or something like that, that he would try to practice daily, and then just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's just another layer of, like, you know, little things you can do to kind of pump yourself up to get through the day.
Yeah. And I think, you know, there's an element that somebody'd say, well, you know, that's too scripted. That's not, you know, sort of spontaneous. But I would argue that. I mean, I think you'll toggle throughout your day, acting as your old self, and then try little bits and pieces acting as your new self. And I think you'll be interested to see what you find. Well,
you also, yeah, especially when you get into like how, you know, it's kind of comforting in some way to think like, oh, my personality is totally fixed. This is just the way I am, blah, blah, blah. But you can push against so much of that, man. And it gets kind of disorienting when you start learning, like, okay, this, like, the story of who I tell myself I am. So I got a fly buzzing around. No. The story of who I tell myself I am, I don't know exactly, but like how much of that is just thoughts that I can just let go of and then just be different. It just freaks people out when you are different. They're like, oh, what are you doing? You're like, I'm doing something different. And they're like, huh? And the first reaction is like, what the hell? What do you think you're, the blah, 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 blah? And you're like, no, I don't think I'm blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all right. And then they just get used to it. It's so funny, man. And it's like, it is, I am interested in how much it like throws people for a loop. Because they're like, hey, man, like I have a thing of you in my brain and now it's not matching up with it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, go back to the thing in my brain. And it's like, no. Like, what? So it is that stuff does kind of. I find that really interesting.
Have you found how much of that do you think is carrying over from school? Because I do think that is, like, let's say in high school, that is very much a real thing because you're always around the same people for 8 hours a day. So they know you as a certain way. But do you feel like there's a certain amount of that was lost or left behind when you got out of that, that normal schedule of being around people? Because, let's say, for instance, I don't see the same people every day, except for a couple of people that I work with. But for the most part, I'm not immersed in the same group of people every day in and day out. So I don't feel as glued to the prescripted identity.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Sorry to cut you off, but the only reason I say that, in case this helps anybody, is because I found that sometimes I still do have that resistance of like, oh, well, what if I wear a polka dot tie today? Like, who's going to think what? And I swear to you, like, this sounds so weird, but when I asked myself sort of several layers of deep of why would I care, and not necessarily about the tie, but in the past, I'd like literally last year, it got down to that I cared about what my brain was telling me, that what this girl thought in high school. I wasn't even attracted to her or anything like that. This girl is now addicted to heroin. Literally, she's a heroin addict, like, no judgment, but it's not exactly someone who I'd care about their personal judgment on me, especially today, nor would I have cared about it in the past. But that's what my brain was trying to protect. Some obscure female who I was only light friends with, somewhat just more acquaintances with. That's what my brain was caring about the judgment from. It's just wild.
No, it's so funny you say that, man, because I had that realization like a couple years ago. Same thing. I was like going to make a decision, and it was like I did a similar process, and the main driving factor that was like kind of, it's almost unconscious if you're not really paying attention.
100%.
Like, will my brother call me gay? Like, and it was like, I was like 33 at the time, and I'm like, I think I got to let this one go. I think I don't need this rattle. I don't need this circuit rattling in my brain. Like, well, my brother make fun of me for this. And it's like, but the thing is, and that's the, you can be trapped underneath all that rubble from your childhood, teenagehood forever, and you don't get out of it. And it's like, and it's cool, it's a shaping force. It's cool. It's there, I guess, to some extent. But like, yeah, man, it's like when you have that energy in you that's like really interested in stuff, and it's getting blocked by all those like, what will that say? What will that say? And again, it's like, here's the trick of it too, because like sometimes that stuff can kind of come in handy. Where like, I'm glad there are some people in my life who will keep me from being just like way too weird. So like, you got to kind of take the good with the bad. But like, yeah, man, I feel like if there's things that you feel like you really, really, really want to do, dude, this is my thing I'm into right now, is rock hounding. I love collecting rocks. I love it. Weirdo. Oh, I love it, dude. I love collecting rocks. I love it.
I never do that. That's awesome.
What was funny is it's like, so I had when I was little, I had a little rock collection, and I remember, I like forgot all about this. I loved it, dude. I would pick them up, I'd put them in there, and I had all the different types. And then when I started doing a little rock pathway, I put a little picture on the Discord of my backyard, still in progress. And I made a little rock, like a stone pathway. So I was out looking for like good flat stones that could go in my little pathway and ordering them. And I started to remember, I'm like, dude, I love collecting rocks. So now I've been out, I have a whole doing my stone pathway now. I'm going to slowly acquire the rocks and fill in the blank spaces little by little and make like a real tight stone pathway over time.
Heck
dude,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, man, going in your backyard, and this is somewhat related because the reason I'm saying this, I'm walking my dogs today, and I'm bending over, picking up rocks. I'm in a little trail, and it was like, oh man, I gotta wait till these people pass, and I had to fight the same voice. I had to be like, just pick up rocks, dude. Like, I mean, I'm stashing them. I have a rock stash in Fairmount Park that I'll go back and get once I park my car near it. But for now, I've been stashing rocks, dude. I don't use that.
I'm gonna pay somebody to go jack your rocks.
Dude, I'll be so mad. I have some nice ones, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, it's like, it sounds so silly, but I really think a lot. If you're like, oh my god, that's ridiculous. Maybe you're just more secure than me. Good for you. But I have a sneaking suspicion that the thing that you want to do is just getting obliterated by those weird things that you're talking about. And the way I think some psychologists think about it is like your psychic landscape. Like people and people's voices and people's judgments get embedded in your like mental call it landscape or your mental sphere, so that like, here's the thing I want to do, and it just gets obliterated by these people in your head before it reaches your conscious awareness for you to act on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, one of the things that I've struggled with, and that one of the speakers talked about, which hit me, right between the eyes, was he's like, start using your social media accounts to provide value, essentially, is what he's saying. I'm kind of morphing it through my words. But like, what are you doing? Your Facebook account should not be used to keep in touch lightly with, the 1,000 high school friends, or, the 1,000 friends you picked up from high school through college that you're really not friends with. And therefore you're limiting yourself. You have these platforms to go out and teach and to go out and serve. What are you doing? But you're not posting those things because you're scared of what I thought this girl would think back then, who I didn't even care about, like those little things. And I was like, damn, like that's so right. Now he said, if you want to use personal Facebook account or Instagram account for friends and family, but have separate ones so you can go out and actually serve and teach. And I was like, damn, he's just like so right. Like, so like, I don't do anything with my social media accounts at all, just because I find social media relatively annoying. But it's like, yeah, what am I doing, man? Like, we have one of the best opportunities to get out there and teach, and I'm only operating at a fraction of my capacity.
No, that's a good point, man. It's also cool too to just kind of take because a lot of people have a compulsion. I would say mine's been, severely mitigated, like a compulsion towards social media use. Just trying to really structure it in a way where it's just serving the thing that you're doing, rather than like that weird like social status game of like, I'm gonna get that good status and everyone's gonna like it, and it's nothing changes.
Yeah, and dude, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to doing that. Just getting out there and like we talked about before, full self-expression and going full, what do you call it, epic mode? Full epic mode. Absolutely.
Yeah, Gunther too. He just said he used social media for Instagram. He actually, I don't know if you saw it, Wes. I don't know if I saw it on my story. He challenged you basically to the dip off. He had some plates on around the waist. He was dipping. He was dipping pretty hard, dude.
Dude, I won't be able to beat him first. I think he said, Gunther, what did you say? You do 1 or 2 plates? There's no way. I mean, he's going to take the cake on me on that.
You can do straight dips, straight body weight.
Oh, okay. So 1 plate, 15. Oh, dude, no way. 1 plate, 15 to 20 reps. He's Gunther, you're way stronger than I am. 100%. I used to do, actually. So when Matt and I were going heavy in the gym, I think we were both doing 3 plates, but it wasn't 15 to 20. It was 3 plates for 6 to 8.
Yeah.
And they were deep dips, not just like an inch down. But no, there's no way that I could do 1 plate, 15 to 20 reps. I am down for considering dip challenge body weight.
I'll do them today. I'm going to the gym today. I'll rip as many as I can. I had to withdraw gracefully from my push-up contest. It was fucking my shoulder up. I was in a push-up contest with my family. It lasted months. It's still going on. My shoulder started to act up, and I was like not doing it to myself because they're all like, "Come on, you pussy." And I was like, "Boys, you guys win this one. I'm not fucking my shoulder up. I still want to do yoga."
That's why I stopped the one that you and I did months ago.
Smart move.
Dude, it is not worth tearing your shoulder. But you've got to be counterbalancing your movements with external rotation, pull, some sort of pulling motion with your back. If you don't, you will regret it. You will definitely regret it.
No, you're absolutely right. But yeah, I still stand by the like Gunther threw out the one challenge for the dips. I'll see how many I can do for Rhomas, and I'll just start seeing how many people can do straight body weight challenge, which would be fun.
Is that the challenge, the number straight, or the amount done throughout the day or the week?
We'll try to go for just an amount straight. I think that'll be the easiest to track.
Yeah, definitely.
So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to do.
Well, yeah, if he's doing that 1 plate, 15 to 20 reps, 3 sets. I mean, if anybody can beat that, maybe Kaizen can beat that because I know he's strong as Knox too. But that's a very high number. That is a very high number.
Well, the thing is, I like exercising really hard. I also, and I think you've been talking about this too. Like, I've really liked doing. Right now, I like doing stuff that like doesn't leave me like kind of like sore and messed up. Like, I just want to keep the joints going, keep the muscles active, but like, I'll compete in these things, but my desire to win them, I just like competing in them because it pushes me further, but it's like, I'm not going to trash my body to win. I've made a deal with myself that way because I have to be able to do my yoga. If I hurt my body, I can't do my yoga. It's like, That's like my flagship of my fitness, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think competing for longevity, the macro game versus the micro game compete so that you can still play games in the future. Absolutely. And that's why I liked, and we'll have to bring back the weight loss challenge or something like that in the future. But I like what you and I have done with the Apple Watch because it's universal. Man. Yeah. You can do whatever workouts you want and it still tracks it. I really like that concept.
True. I do. I mean, yeah, the Apple Watch, if people have Fitbits, anything, just go calories burned and just have at it. That I really do like that one. It really keeps me kind of moving. I also was telling, I was talking to Billy and Andrew yesterday, and we were like fucking around. I was doing their podcast. But the one thing we were talking about is like, and this is what I was explaining to them. I'm like, my ultimate fitness goal is to be fit as a senior citizen. So it's like, that's all I care about. And I'm preparing now. And we were talking about like going into the nursing home, and it's like, I want to be able to like not need that, or be able to fend off my relatives. If my descendants are trying to put me in one, I'll just be like, try to get them off. But it's like, that's what I'm trying to do, you know? It's
and
like,
that starts now.
Dude, it's like, exactly. It's a retirement fund for your body, dude. You need to start doing it now. Start getting limber.
Really think about it.
Start getting fit, because otherwise you're going to try to figure it out at 50, and it's like, good luck.
Dude, I swear Pilates and yoga should be the cornerstones of that. I've got several clients, especially Pilates. I think it's one of the most under talked about areas of fitness, especially for men. Now I'm only going off of a few people here, but I know 3 clients who are religious about Pilates. And dude, it's crazy the way their body moves. And they're in their mid 70s.
What?
Oh, it's insane. It is the one client I met, I was walking back from the bathroom, and then she was walking back with this guy. I thought I could not see their faces. I could only see behind them. I literally thought it was a mid 70-year-old man walking with his granddaughter, literally. And it was his 70-year-old wife. What? Like, that's how she was moving. Yeah. And she was super fit. And so, it's crazy. And then I have another client. She's the same thing. She's 76 years old. And she does Pilates 3 times a week. And the same thing. She moves like she's a teenager, literally.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. She does Pilates and bar class, but yes, I am definitely going to be getting more into Pilates. Now, it is a little on the pricey side. If you do the machine, you can do, I think they call it the reformer. That's generally, like, out here in California, it's about $150 a month for a gym membership that has reformers. But you can also do Pilates on the ground. So the guys and I, during our workout sessions, every once in a while, we'll do a Pilates session. There's free sessions on YouTube. I do have a funny feeling that the reformer is better, but I could be wrong. The one lady does reformer workouts. The other lady, she does floor workouts. So, and they both have outstanding benefits, but it's all about your core and movement and mobility, working on all those muscles that, us men generally don't work on, because it's not bench press and dips and pull-ups and that stuff.
Yeah, man, dude, I'm telling you, it's I got to check out Pilates. I only did it once, and it was with a bunch of like senior citizens, and it was just like, I was like, this sucks.
It's legit, man.
Yeah, I got to try it out. It's like the yoga, I fucking love yoga, man. And it's like, I was really torn between, like, do I want to get back into jiu-jitsu? Do I want to do this? And I've ultimately decided, I'm like, yoga's the one. It's more, for me, it's more sustainable. And it's just like, every time I leave, I never leave it feeling like injured. My neck doesn't hurt. It's like, if someone wants to choke me and kick my ass, whatever, I guess I'll have to deal with that. But it's like, I fucking love doing yoga.
Yoga's great. You actually exposed me to yoga years ago. We went to that hot yoga session.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, yoga's legit. Well, maybe sometime when I'm back in Philly, we can hit, or when you're out here in California, we can hit up a Pilates session.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. And also too, Wes, I mean, I just thought about this now with Kaizen, how he's saying how like he's in Florida and there's a ton of 70 to 90-year-olds who are super active. Dude, man, like the exercise stuff really helps. And I swear to God, sunlight. It's like, get sunlight.
Without doubt.
Try to get your sunlight, man. It's like, it's an absolute imperative to life. It's like food, water, sunlight. Like, I forget sometimes. My mom makes fun of me. I would get so pale in the summer because I'm down in my basement just like writing and doing work.
Yeah.
So I make an effort to get like at least a half an hour to an hour of like good sunlight every single day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why we got to get you out of California, dude. So I think the prescription is 20 minutes of sunlight in max. So 20 minutes over 70% of the surface area of your skin during peak light.
Yep.
I think that's the general recommendation. And then you think about, humans in parts of the world like Philadelphia during the winter. I mean, you're not getting anywhere close to that.
No, man, it's tough. You technically, I guess you could try to get it in the wintertime, but it's chilly.
Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe it's possible. I'm not sure if it's possible.
True, yeah, you're probably right. Probably everyone gets vitamin D deficient and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I think it's something crazy. It's like 93% of people are vitamin D deficient. I think that's roughly the figure.
Yeah, man, and that's been something I've really been gearing back against, is like letting my mind kind of work at the expense of my body. It's like, I'm working hard, I'm doing all the stuff I want to do, I'm not slacking, but at the same time, like, I'm making a very serious effort not to run my body into the ground. And also, this is a thing I've been doing with eating that's been pretty helpful. Every time I'm hungry, every time I think about food, I just real quick divide it between, like, does my mind want this snack or does my body want this food? And it's like I'm cutting out a ton of unnecessary eating, because I'm like, I don't have that feeling telling me I need food, therefore no, I'm not eating. It makes it very easy.
Yep.
Like, that's been pretty helpful.
Hell yeah. Awesome, man. No, I completely agree. I do the same thing today. I've been eating mostly just one meal a day, outside of special occasions. And yeah, I'll be doing the same thing today. But yeah, no, having a very similar conversation in my head. And Matt, I'm always using that tool that you say, toward or away. I really like that tool. Is this helping me move towards my goals or away from my goals? And that's just a very quick litmus test for, like, is the action that I'm about to do, is it serving me or hurting me?
Yeah, man, and that's what we talked about Friday. Like, if you don't have something, it could be the easiest thing in place. Even if it's just like, I just want to figure out what exactly I want to do, that's fine. But it's like, without having that some sort of conscious structure to, like, how you go about your day, I mean, dude, it's like you're free floating back and forth between periods of, like, extreme, like, depression or anxiety, being like, how did I get like this? And it's like, because you've just been, like, floating down this unthinking river, and it almost always crashes upon, the rocky shores of reality.
Yep, absolutely. Well said, sir. We've got a question from Xavier saying, should I get vaccinated? Just drop that one on us.
Your body, your choice, dude. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'll leave it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you guys that I did get vaccinated, and actually, funny enough, one of the biggest reasons was because, number one, in general, I do trust our medical system. It has its flaws, like everything else has its flaws, but I noticed that I was going to go to a jiu-jitsu class, and I told my girlfriend, and she was hesitant because she was concerned about the health issues for me and for her and her family, the people I'm around, etc. And it just kind of hit me at the right time. I was like, this is enough. Like, enough is, I'm no longer holding my life back. And I noticed that I even had some hesitation about going and joining a group jiu-jitsu class because of that. And I was like, no more. Like, I've had a year of this stuff. I'm no longer willing to hold back. And I'm not particularly scared of the vaccination, like that sort of thing. So that was my personal line of logic there. And I definitely understand where some people would say, no, like, there's not enough information out there, not enough data. I'm not a big fan of vaccinations in general, like all that stuff. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, but that was my personal logic behind it. And in hindsight, I'm very glad that I have. Now, if I grow like a third arm or something, next year, obviously I would not be happy about that. But so far, I'm very happy about the decision.
Nice. Yeah, I think people should just do whatever they want. It's like, for me personally, I don't know anything about it. I'm not scared of the disease personally. Yeah. It's like it's kind of run its course through my family and network, and everyone was just kind of champed it. So yeah, I'm not really too worried about it, and I just don't. My big concern is the OxyContin thing. It's like they just had OxyContin come out, and like that was fine, and it's not addictive, and blah blah blah. In 1999, there was Purdue commercials being like, opioids aren't addictive, and that's just blah blah blah. So it's like, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm going to take care of my own health. If I need the medical system, I use it, but I'm not adding any bells and whistles at the time.
Yeah. I would say, if anybody's on the fence about it, go and watch the Joe Rogan episode with, who was it? they talk about this. The evolutionary biologist, I can't remember his name, but they had a whole special on something that was phenomenal. It talked about this drug that's been used for decades, and it's showing outstanding results for preventing COVID, and then also treating it once you get it. It's unreal. I don't think it was Colin Wright. It was him. It was Joe Rogan and 2 other guys. And dude, it was, Matt, if you're interested, you should definitely watch it. Like it was almost, I would say, similar to their saying like, hey, we've been using this drug out here. It was a doctor and then an evolution biologist. It was a doctor and this other guy. Damn, I can't remember his name. Anyway, basically the drug was like borderline similar to like aspirin. It wasn't as widely used, but it's been used for decades now, and they're saying with little to no side effects. I mean, the side effects might be like nausea or something like that, but yeah, Brett Weinstein, Xavier. It was Joe Rogan, Brett Weinstein, and then this other doctor.
Yeah, I would say with the whole vaccination thing, the only thing I know for sure, it's like, it's nothing to like lose friends over. You see some people who are like, oh yeah, you can't come to my house unless you're this, and you get some people who are like, if you get that, I don't even want to be. It's like, dude, just do whatever you feel is best, and then just go about your life. You'll be fine. Yeah,
I'm trying to look it up for people in case they're interested. If anybody can tell me the name of that drug, it was a really fascinating.
Was it hydroxychloroquine or whatever it's called? Okay.
No. Damn, I gotta look it up just in case anybody, because I might actually tell my mom to look into it. COVID treatment.
Someone's saying ivermectin.
Yes, that's it. Ivermectin.
Got it.
Yep. Yeah. Mike Gibbons, thanks for letting us know that. Yeah, but go and just learn about it yourself. And I found myself going into the episode saying like, I don't know the hell this is going to be, because Joe Rogan and I kind of agree and disagree on certain things. But I actually found myself saying, wow, no, this actually sounds pretty legit. Like it wanted me to further my research.
Nice. Hell yeah. But yeah, no, I feel pretty good, man. I just like, no matter what you do, you got to just keep taking care of your health and doing all the basics and blah, blah, blah. So yeah.
Cool. All right, man. So what's going on for the week, bud?
Dude, this week my main mission is to just record the audio for the mindfulness meditation cycle. I'm actually really excited about it. And I don't think I'll get the video done this week, but I'm going to definitely try to do all the audio and like have the video file started. So like it's being worked on.
Hell yeah.
And then after that, I'm just I got to go to Boston. So I really have I just have 2 days to do the Psych mindfulness one. Wednesday I got to do our Matt and Shane's podcast, and then I'll be doing stand-up all weekend. So simple to-do list. To-do list this week is simple. Just get my one thing done, get some of my exercise done, and go do stand-up.
Yeah, awesome. I'd love to see the guys' goals. Ray, that's an awesome goal. And Ray, I saw your goal earlier for, I think you said Instagram stories. You should 100% do it. And I would like to throw a challenge out to the men. If anybody's on the edge about teaching or sharing their value or teaching other men this stuff, like go out and try to create something, create a little project. It's as small as it could be, a one pager or a PowerPoint or a video, but I'm getting so much value out of creating this finance video. I can't wait to release it. But it's just an awesome, source of inspiration and extremely challenging, but just right in that zone of what Jordan Peterson calls the zone of proximal development. It's like the coolest thing about now is if you're creating something on the internet, you're just one Google search away from learning the next little micro step. So it's not like I mean, dude, could you imagine trying to build something or like fix something in your house without YouTube? I can't imagine it. Like, what would you have done 30 years ago?
I mean, yeah, you have to literally know someone who's like connected to a lineage of people who do that.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy, dude. I agree with you, and I also think for people who are, again, like kind of like, I don't know exactly what I want to do, it's like just get into some sort of project. Like for me right now, I'm telling you, working with rocks, making the stone pathway is so much fun because I go out when I'm walking, I'm kind of looking for them. I have to like carry heavy rocks around, which is kind of fun. Like I'll go get them from a field across the street from me. I have to like carry them over and they dig them out and lay them down. It's like, And it's just a thing. I know I'm doing it just day by day. It's like going to slowly accumulate, but like, just especially if you have a little backyard, it's like really, there's that from the Peterson's new book, he talks about like take one area of your house and make it as beautiful as possible.
Yep.
And that during like this, it's going to be like a 6-year project, but the whole time I live at this house, I'm going to try to turn that backyard into something like stunning, just by myself too. I'm not, my cousin's going to help me put a fence in the back, but other than that, all the rock work and garden work, I'm going to try to do myself.
Hell yeah. Awesome, man. Cool. So for me, still same 2 projects, get Rhomas done, get the video done. And then I'm prepping for seminars next week. So, to be accountable to the group. So I basically just said, fuck it. Like I'm going all in. I'm either going to be dead broke or I'm going to be shooting for the stars sort of thing. So I told you guys handful of weeks ago / months ago that, I launched my first round of seminars, $10,000, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm all in. I ordered the next 4 and just said, fuck it. Like, so I went to the company, said like, let's do it. So, $50,000 in so far. The next one starts next week. And then I've already ordered the mailers and all that stuff for the ones after. So it's trying to put my money where my mouth is and just going all in on myself and the team here. So we'll see.
So you're doing seminars. You're going to be leading them for the company. Oh man, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So that's what's going on, man.
Dude, I applaud the all in nature, dude. That is epic mode. That's you're not fucking around.
Yeah, writing those checks, man. It's like a sweaty, like trembling hand, man. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Cool.
I'm pumped for you.
All right, dude. I appreciate it. Guys, have an awesome week. See you on Friday.
Later on.